Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving straight into this incredibly fascinating intersection of pop culture and real-world science. We've all grown up with these amazing stories of heroes possessing completely logic-defying abilities. But what exactly happens when that boundary between comic book fiction and actual medical reality starts to blur? Well, let's explore the scientific breakthroughs that are literally giving human biology a sci-fi upgrade right now.
I want you to take a second and really imagine this. What if you could upgrade your own body with the actual superpowers you've only ever seen on the big screen? I'm talking about possessing incredible super strength, or maybe being able to turn invisible on command, or regenerating from a massive injury in a matter of hours. For the longest time, these concepts were purely for our entertainment. But you know what? We're actually crossing a threshold where cutting-edge engineering, biotechnology, and quantum physics are all coming together to make these abilities a tangible reality for everyday people. It's wild. To really understand our intense drive to fundamentally upgrade ourselves, you honestly just have to look at our own culture. $70 million. Think about that for a second. That was the budget for the 2001 animated movie Osmosis Jones. That massive investment perfectly proves our deep obsession with the inner workings of our own bodies. We are just endlessly fascinated by what happens beneath our skin. And that exact fascination is what's driving scientists to tinker, to innovate, and ultimately to improve the human machine.
And actually, that film popularized a really powerful metaphor, one that scientists today still find incredibly useful. It's this idea of viewing the human body as a sprawling, highly organized metropolis. So the cerebellum acts as this sort of biological city hall, actively directing all the traffic, while your lymph nodes function just like local police stations, constantly identifying threats. It is just a brilliant, highly accurate way to visualize how all our complex internal systems collaborate.
But here's the thing, we are no longer just looking at biological metaphors in movies. Top technological experts are literally predicting the emergence of actual, scientifically enhanced superhumans within the next 20 years. Yeah, you heard that right, 20 years. In just 2 decades, the insane upgrades we're about to talk about could be fully integrated into our society. We're talking about shifting human evolution from a slow, natural process to an active technological choice. Okay, let's jump right into our roadmap for today. First, biology as a metropolis. Second, upgrading our human senses. Third, enhancing strength and mobility. And finally, number 4, the ultimate healing factor. Starting off with Section 1, Biology as a Metropolis, where we'll look at upgrading the human city.
So, by mapping out the body like a city, we can see exactly where modern science plans to install its enhancements. If our liver is the chemical plant, and our intestines are the bustling port importing all our goods, then our blood vessels are the high-speed highways connecting it all. And those neutrophils, they act as our city patrol. Scientists aren't just blindly throwing new tech at the body, right? They're strategically and selectively upgrading these specific municipal departments, if you will, to perform at completely unprecedented speeds.
Moving on to Section 2, Upgrading our human senses, expanding the limits of perception.
Let's take our hearing, for example, and consider echolocation. That's the ability to determine the exact location of objects just by using reflected sound waves. Very much like the hero Daredevil, scientists are right now actively developing artificial outer ears and highly advanced middle ear implants. These are specifically designed to give humans a bat-like sonar sense, literally allowing us to pinpoint sounds from directly behind us and judge spatial depth perfectly. How cool is that?
And our vision is right next in line for a major upgrade. Bionic enhancements are gearing up to flood our brains with visual data that we have simply never naturally experienced before. I mean, we're talking about infrared capabilities to detect heat signatures, and optical zoom built right into the eye itself. Combine that with ultra-precise laser surgeries and genetic manipulation, and we could radically expand the very spectrum of colors humans can even perceive.
But, as we start upgrading these sensory inputs, we also have to look at the main processor, our brain. Currently, DARPA is exploring this mind control technology using transcranial pulsed ultrasound. And we absolutely have to impartially weigh the dual outcomes here. Because on one hand, there are staggering medical benefits, right? Like reducing pain and laser focusing soldiers in high-stress environments. But on the flip side, there are profound ethical risks to consider, including potential threats to our free will and the ultimate invasion of mental privacy. It's a very fine line to walk.
We actually see this exact same dual-use nature when it comes to optical stealth. Researchers down at the University of Texas are currently utilizing ultra-thin metascreens to bend light and microwaves, effectively making physical objects completely invisible. And look, while this is an absolute marvel of physics, truly mind-blowing, invisibility also totally opens the door to covert infiltration and illegal surveillance. It really underscores why experts heavily emphasize building robust, airtight, ethical frameworks right alongside these superhuman technologies.
All right, Section 3, enhancing strength and mobility, defying gravity and physics. Because once our senses and our minds are upgraded, the next logical step is completely redefining how we physically move through the world. We are actively building Iron Man and Spider-Man tech right now, today. Take the XOS-2 exoskeleton. It's designed to let a human lift hundreds of pounds repeatedly with absolutely zero physical fatigue. Meanwhile, NASA is busy developing exosuits for zero-gravity lifting, and engineers at the University of Utah have created a vacuum-assisted climber that literally allows humans to scale vertical walls. It's just wild stuff.
And of course, we can't talk about supermobility without talking about the ultimate superhero flex, flying. The long-held dream of personal flight is rapidly approaching reality. Right now, we already have JetLev water-powered jetpacks launching people 30 feet into the air and TAM rocket belts hitting 60 miles per hour. Now, sure, battery weight currently keeps them restricted to maybe 20-second bursts, but prototypes for 4-motor flying bikes over in the Czech Republic absolutely point to a very real future of personalized airborne urban transport.
But what if flying just isn't fast enough for you? What about instant travel? Enter quantum entanglement. This is that mind-bending phenomenon where particles are linked and the state of one instantly affects the other, completely regardless of physical distance. So, while full-blown human teleportation definitely remains strictly sci-fi for now, scientists are already using this principle to literally teleport the quantum states of photons and atoms across laboratories. This is actually laying the groundwork for completely unhackable quantum communication networks.
And finally, Section 4. The ultimate healing factor, rebuilding the city from within. We all know the classic trope, right? Superheroes take a ton of damage, but they always bounce back. Well, biotechnology is turning that into a literal reality by utilizing stem cells and 3D bioprinting as a sort of turbocharged maintenance crew for our bodies. Stem cells are effectively this universal repair crew, entirely capable of generating brand new tissue and bone on demand. Add in 3D bioprinting, which allows labs to print entirely new, complex tissues from scratch, and scientists unlocking the genetic secrets of salamanders and starfish, we are very close to bringing a true Wolverine-style rapid regeneration right into everyday human healthcare.
And Matt perfectly wraps up our look at the incredible science that is literally turning fiction into reality. As we face the very, very real prospect of these superhuman technologies arriving within the next 20 years, it leaves every single one of us pondering a really fascinating question. If you could choose just one technological upgrade for your own biological metropolis, which superpower would it be? Would you choose flight, invisibility, super strength, or maybe that rapid healing factor? Because honestly, it's no longer just a hypothetical question for comic book fans, it's a very real choice we might all have to make incredibly soon. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep wondering about what's next.